here on ESPN. Perugia versus Juventus, along with Mike Hill. I'm John Paul Della Camera. A big test early on for Perugia, a team that is more used to Serie B, Mike, than A. Yes, so wait for the kickoff. We'll check out starting lineups for these two sides. First, for the home side, Perugia, they have a Serbian international at goal.
They certainly do. It's the number 18 who's been making the headlines for them. That's Marco Negri. He scored their only goal so far this season in Serie A, the winner in their 1-0 victory. But of course, he was in doubt, but he's had a late fitness test. He takes his place, and that really is good news for Perugia. As for Juventus, well, there's a familiar look there. Of course, the player getting all the headlines at the moment is the Croatian international, the number 9, Alan Boxic, scoring last weekend, and also, of course, scoring in the Champions League. The number 10, Alessandro Del Piero, the new golden boy of Italian football, and they'll be looking for him to have a big game today.
Peruzzi just extended his contract earlier this week to the year 2000, so there's some job security in Italy, something that you don't normally associate. The referee, Graziano Cesare.
Peruzzi's in goal for Juventus. Kosic at the other side. There's Cesare, who is from Genoa.
Yes, he's been a Serie A referee since 1990. In fact, the first game he ever did actually featured Juventus against Curi. That was back in December of 1990.
Juventus with the ball. Pesotto gives it up. Now to the near side. Perugia will play it back there in red. Juventus are in the black and white striped uniforms.
Out of the back, Ferrara will play it up over the halfway line.
Temperature 18 degrees Celsius. The forecast is cloudy. You can tell the field is in great shape. Taken out of the back. Five is Dicara for Perugia.
Deschamps hustling back, the French international to take it.
Zidane on the wing, busted up. Perugia back over the halfway line, picked off there by Ferrara. Tackle away. Conte is back, their team captain.
Physical play right here, right in the center of the field.
Deschamps. Zidane. They look for space for Del Piero. A tough foul. That'll set up a dangerous free kick for Juventus.
Yes, and Del Piero, they're finding a lot of space, but room to turn, and then was tripped up. Perugia, of course, a team with a lot of new faces this season. It's their promotion from Serie B. They spent a lot of money trying to strengthen their side. We see Del Piero here. He was given a lot of space, and that's something that Perugia are really going to have to clamp down on. If you give this man too much space, he's going to punish you.
Free kick coming up. That's Zidane with a shot off the post. I thought that was going through.
Well, the goalkeeper just stood there and watched that one. A real let-off there for Perugia.
Well, normally you expect Del Piero to take those, and the element of surprise was there. Zidane was wrong. Deschamps on the right side. That's broken up. Perugia looking to attack. It's been all Juventus
So far in the opening minutes, and even though they're the visiting side, you might have expected that with their experience
and their greater skill.
They always seem to come out of the blocks very fast, and of course they've also got their eye on Wednesday night's UEFA Champions League as we see this free kick, and the goalkeeper is really just a spectator here. Zidane is the player who steps forward, and the goalkeeper could only watch and save there by the post.
Del Piero holding, and that one went out. It's a goal kick. On that angle that we saw of the goalkeeper, you imagine the look that he gave when that ball ricocheted off the post the way it did.
Yes, a look of relief.
There's Alessandro Del Piero, off to a good start so far this year. They're counting on him for bigger and better things. Maybe this is his breakthrough year. You're looking at Kosic, 27-year-old former international.
Yes, the new signing came from Vojvodina during the off-season.
Kosic sends it long, well over the halfway line. Controlled here by Juventus. Boxic gave it up, gets it back from Del Piero into the box. Boxic with a cut, and it was cleared away by the defense.
Well, marvellous play there by Boxic, showing a lot of skill to get away from two defenders. He just couldn't quite finish it off.
We're in the 4th minute. It is scoreless. Perugia at home. What was expected to be a sellout crowd. Conte. Now to Pesotto, who loves to attack from that left side. Pesotto lays it back off. Contact against Amoroso by number 7, Michael Krieg, who used to play with Ajax. It's Amoroso. Here is Deschamps. Zidane. Contact against Boxic. He'll still break as the ball is played wide to the right. Porini. A change starter. Porini was not expected to start today. They had originally said Torricelli would start, but Porini did get the nod. Alberto Di Chiara. They're expecting big things from him.
Yes, a very experienced player. Di Chiara there. He's the new signing from Parma, where he scored a couple of goals last season. Really been around Serie B, and Serie A for that matter, the 32-year-old. He's had spells at Roma and at Lecce and Fiorentina before he joined Parma. The referee insisting that he goes off for treatment. It doesn't look too serious at this stage.
Juventus ball, they've had most of it. Here's the big shot, while wide of Kosic. Perugia is going to have to do something because they don't want the visitors to come in and completely control the tempo, and that's what's happened here. Juventus has controlled the tempo, they've controlled the game, but no goals to show for it, and that's only because of the hit goalpost.
It's been a good positive start for the team from Turin. I would think that their coach Matteo Lippi would like them to go out, perhaps get a couple of early goals, then they can relax slightly and start thinking more of Wednesday night's Champions League game.
Maybe make a couple of substitutions as well based on that.
Give some guys a breather. It's a tough time of the year when you're playing in the Champions League as well as your regular league. Out of the back, it's Krieg. Back to his keeper, Kosic. He'll send it long. Juventus with Pesotto
Won it in the air, and it's coming all the way back to the other side. No midfield play at all from Perugia. We've not mentioned their
forwards because they've not touched the ball.
They really haven't been outside their own half in this game so far.
Juventus high pressure and a tough foul. They had just gotten possession. Man, foul was the captain, Giunti.
The field seems very wet in places. He's holding up the passes. Already we're starting to see the start to cut up a little bit.
Zidane was brought down.
They're hoping for big things from the French international. That foul was on number 4, Castellini.
There's a lot of people comparing his arrival with the arrival in the 80s of Michel Platini. Of course, he led Juventus to some marvellous triumphs. So Zidane has got a lot of weight on his shoulders. So is that young man this year, Sandro Del Piero.
He's going to have to do something about pacing himself because last year, at the end of the year, no question, he was a tired player.
He really suffered a lot of burnout last year, but we saw him at the beginning of last season. He was in spectacular form for Juventus.
He's off to a good start this year, as we told you. Here's Kosic looking on. Don't discount him scoring from here. He'll pass instead to Zidane. Zidane with a shot that was deflected, and it's clear from just the last couple of weeks they're trying to get Zidane more involved in the offense.
Yes, and he's working out a good understanding even this early stage with Del Piero. Perhaps with Zidane there, he might take a little bit of pressure off of Del Piero. I'm sure he will appreciate.
Here's Del Piero with a corner. Sends it inside. Oh, that one didn't go in. There were a couple of players open, including Ciro Ferrara, who scored on pretty much the same play a week ago. Amoroso was there as well.
Amoroso, one of the new signings for Juventus this season, has come from Padua. He scored 14 goals last year. Plenty of firepower available for Juventus this season, of course. He's also a recognised goal scorer with Marseille and more recently with Lazio.
Out of the back, Krieg will leave it off. Coming up, Champions League play returns this Wednesday. Ajax versus Grasshopper. Check your local listings for the exact time in your area. The linesman actually had the flag up on this side. That's Gautieri, who was looking to gain an advantage. He is formerly with Bari, one of their 2 strikers today. 9th minute of play. Scoreless game. Juventus on the road at Perugia. Oh, Del Piero
Piero, good close control there. In the end, just chopped down there by Castellini, who actually gets the yellow card, JP.
Should have clamped down on the game early. Del Piero with a bending ball. Kosic is there, but the flag was up as well. But a good start for Juventus.
Yeah, very positive. I mean, they are the road team in this event, and we come out with a positive attitude. But I think a lot of that has got to do with they want to get a couple of early goals, then they can relax a little bit and save themselves for Wednesday's trip to Turkey.
Castellini. Flag is up again. Could have been on Gautieri. There was a player behind him.
That's where the referee's assistant on this near touch line indicated.
A chance for Juventus. That's blocked. Zidane has Pesotto free. Gianluca Pesotto bends it off the right foot. It's deflected. The header right there. The keeper. Great chance in front. Great stop for Juventus. They should have had a goal.
Yes, they're pushing players forward. There was 2 players inside the 6-yard box that time, waiting for the cross.
Still scoreless. Right back the other way, Juventus. Perugia right now is dodging the bullet because if they keep allowing Juventus this much space and this much possession, sooner or later you figure they're going to get burned.
Yes, especially when you've got strikers. That man, Boksic, looks so good in this game so far, and it's really surprised a lot of people. A lot of people questioned Juventus signing him, actually. So he really is starting to deliver for them. Great target man, as we've already seen. So for a big man, he's got some very good close-up skills.
Cara was walking off the field, slightly injured. Tell that he appears to be all right. Kosic, 27-year-old goalkeeper. The game is 11 minutes old. It has been all Juventus. Perugia's only winning on the foul count. That's dubious. Zidane into space. Boksic beats 2 players. Trying to lead it forward. I thought he was passing more than a shot. Del Piero was open, but that one was almost looking like a shot the way it was going towards goal.
Yes, I think he was caught there in 2 minds, whether to have the shot or trying to set it up for Del Piero. And wasn't quite the right pass for Del Piero.
Deschamps to Zidane, that French connection. Something's wrong defensively, though, with Perugia. There's a lot of space. These guys are finding big-time holes, Juventus are, on that back 4.
Perugia side is such a new team. It's not the team that came up from Serie B. So many new players. It's going to take a little bit of time for them to gel. Although Juventus have also been active in the transfer market, they've still got the basis of the team that has done so well for them over the last couple of seasons.
The game is 12 minutes over. That's the first time Perugia touched the ball. Knocked ahead by Curi. Gautieri bends it inside. The giveaway again. Taken over on the left side to Pesotto. Did a good job to keep it in, or didn't he? No. Linesman says he was out. The ball was out.
Still the rain continues to fall, and it's going to make conditions worse for the players. Really having a bit of trouble just keeping their foot in. There's been a lot of rain here in the last 24 hours. The pitch very, very wet. These sort of conditions really a nightmare for goalkeepers and defenders. It's so hard to turn quickly. Players will lose their foot in. See that throw, the ball just picking up pace as it skidded off the turf.
Look at this space. Del Piero. Well, what kind of a card will we get? And if the answer is none, Del Piero will be puzzled. It should be a card on Curi. It is.
It's the yellow card for that.
I wonder about the color of that card. I mean, that's blatant. It's gone. Behind him. Here's Deschamps. Pesotto. To Boksic. Alan Boksic, tackle away. Serie A is a rough league, no question, but I think they're going to have to clamp down. There's another bad play in terms of a foul by Curi. That's Boxic who went down. It's the star players that are getting hit and getting hit hard. I don't know what it's going to take. Yellow cards. You can take a yellow card if you can take a Del Piero or a Boxic out of the game.
Yes, I think the thing is though with Serie A, the standard and skill level is just so high.
Boxic, as we've already seen, a very skillful player, as is Del Piero, and often they might look bad fouls, but the attacker has perhaps got too much skill for the defender.
Look at Del Piero bending this one right at the goalkeeper Kosic.
Ferrara was making a run on the right side.
Kosic after a rather
Dubious start where he was saved by the woodwork and didn't look too safe. Seems to be growing in confidence now. He's taken those last couple of crosses very easily. Took that free kick well.
That hit post could have been a wake-up call. That's how we
Tackle by Juventus. Up the middle.
foul call there. That's from behind. Cards coming. Ferrara gets the yellow. And another well-deserved one.
Yeah, challenge from behind. This is one of the challenges that Frizz trying to outlaw.
Free kick for Perugia. This is as deep as they've been. 3 yellow cards already in this game. We're in the 16th minute.
Ball is spotted down by Allegri. Massimiliano Allegri, 29-year-old midfielder. On a wet field, this could be dangerous. A shot! Another one that looked like it dinged off the
Post or crossbar. That was scary for Juventus. I mean, they've dominated. They were almost down by a goal.
Well, I think Curi there was having trouble with his foot and he seemed to go skidding across the goal. Been relieved to see that one just whistle the side of the post.
He is having trouble himself looking back down there right after he kicked that ball. Some of the dirt and turf is flying. Foul is called, and that's going against Juventus. Chiara's all right. He had gone down earlier.
Remember, he's got the 1 yellow card. Castellini has a yellow. Ferrara has one for Juventus. In the 17th minute,
This is Castellini. Played through, they were looking for Curi. And that's as unsettled as Juventus is looking at the back today.
Yes, a little bit of indecision there. I think the defender was expecting Peruzzi to come out and grab that one. He just stayed at home.
Throw in for Castellini. Off that double team.
Juventus trying to win it. Risotto
Got it away from Metricano. And this one rolls out.
It's going
to Perugia. Perugia seems to be doing a little bit better now offensively anyway. They're more into the flow.
Yeah, they seem to have weathered that early storm. So they're growing in a little bit more confidence.
see how they do on the defensive end as Ferrara plays up. You can see the turf just picking up.
Amoruso to Ferrara.
Advancing forward. Here's the ball played through. And it almost made it.
Boxic was looking for it. It's kept in play. Boxic slides it across. Del Piero left in. Boxic tried to get back up, but it's cleared away by Giunti. There's Conte. Right now, Juventus is just outworking Perugia. Antonio Conte, the team captain, will play it back. Deschamps off the right foot. And that's too far. You're seeing more and more players slip now.
It's really going to test their stamina as this game goes on. It's early days of the season, but it looks a very, very heavy pitch out there. It's starting to cut up.
Later on tonight, please check your local listings. Tune in. You'll see Roma versus Sampdoria. More of Italian Serie A here on ESPN. Roma led by Abel Balbo, the Argentine international. Fonseca, some other great players there as well. Played across by Creek. Metricano. Metricano will play it wide to the left side.
Perugia in the 19th minute.
Ripard's trying to play it across. I think that's the first time Ripard has touched the ball, and we're 18 plus minutes old. playing with Hadjic split. They're counting on him. Big things. Off this deflection, this is Peruzzi's. Peruzzi plays it long. Scoreless game. 19 minutes gone. And a whistle on that foul. There is Boksic, who's off to a great start this year. Scored the 1 goal last week and won of the Champions League, the only one against Manchester United. He's looking good in a Juventus uniform. Maybe a change of scenery was very good for him.
Yeah, so often that happens when players move, but during his time at Lazio,
Never really sort of reproduced the form that he had at Marseille, but he seemed to be worried by a lot of injuries. We saw him play only, some 50 minutes in Euro 96 before he got
just a slight knock, but it kept him out the rest of the tournament. For the first time, perhaps for a couple of seasons, he looks
really fit now and producing well as we see that challenge. That's what he didn't like, so another free kick for Perugia.
Last one went off the crossbar when this man Allegri took it. I think he would be placing it lower with that wet feel, but his was up high. A lot of goals are scored on low shots on wet turf. Here's a long shot again, but this one is higher than the last one. But I'll tell you what, he's got a good right foot.
Certainly has his been striking them so well.
Striking on target at the moment. These conditions with a wet, slippery ball, good for goalkeepers. Luzzi's still having trouble with the turf down there.
All the way to the far side from Etricano. Intercepted. Conte knocked out. He'll have a throw-in, or won't he? Will not. It's going the other way. Perugia here at home. They are up from Serie B, promoted this year from Italy's 2nd division. Last time they were in Serie A, the last year in 1980-81. Here's Amoruso. Tripped up at the end. Dangerous free kick coming up for Del Piero.
Or Zidane, we've seen what he could do with them as well.
The first time Zidane had that great chance that went off the goalpost. Second time Del Piero took it with Zidane splitting away. There was no disguise made of that second free kick. See what they do here. And there are other weapons besides the two we're talking about. Ball's being set up. 22nd minute.
This doesn't look good for Perugia. They're going to make a change very early.
Goretti is coming in. Obviously, that's an injury. You don't normally see a substitution this early, and you can see the player coming off, perhaps with a hamstring problem. Check out that official substitution in a moment. Off that free kick, it's touched down, played across, left-footed shot. Oh, big-time save by Kosic. That was well disguised.
Well disguised, forcefully hit. The goalkeeper
We'll give him the credit that it was a good save, but I think it came at him so quickly.
He knew very little about it, but somehow he kept the ball out. It was so much power. The goalkeeper there just sticking an arm up to get it away for a corner.
And off that corner, it's cleared away. The substitution was Goretti for Castellini. Castellini appeared to be injured, limping off. Not severely, but apparently enough. Juventus with Boksic trying to turn. Busted up by Giornata. Played ahead to the halfway line. That's Juventus picking it up. Corini's pass. Now it's Perugia. An obvious foul on Del Piero.
Goretti, the player who's come on, actually played with
Season in Serie A. He's just 20 years old. But with Castellini, the player, going off, really they've lost a bit of experience at the back. Castellini, of course, who another one of the new signings who came from Parma.
Right side, Juventus with it. Played into the box. A chance. Boksic couldn't get the good toe to it. Players are falling all over the place.
He's battling so well up front is Boksic. 5 goals last year for Lazio. You see here, just got that nose for goals, and he defender just got there before him. He actually caught him. Was far up. It's the free kick.
Kosic. One for the moment by Juventus, and now Perugia will take over. They're in red, playing here at home. The new man is Giornata. That's coming all the way back on that foul. Montero, the Uruguayan international. We're in the 25th minute. Montero got the yellow card.
Referee judged a little bit pushing for the ball. The referee there, Serie, now issued 4 yellow cards.
Another free kick coming up from about probably 35 to 40 out. This one comes off the left foot and it's low, blocked though by Juventus outside the 18. And a pushing foul called on Perugia. Here's Sergio Parini. Parini's been 4 years with Atalanta before coming over here. Soto up the wing offside. Light was up. Caruso.
They tried to make the diagonal run across that time to hit the offside trap. It's caught by about a yard.
4 offside calls in this one, even at 2 for these two sides. On the restart. Perugia looking for some space, but Deschamps blocked it. Conte upfield, Boxic with the quick turn and pass. Down the wing, it's Amoruso, tackle away. Goretti. Corner kick coming up for Juventus. Watch for players like Ferrara to go forward on these. There's the new player, Goretti, that came in. 3 corners to none. Juventus with the advantage, and this time Zidane will take, and Del Piero has been taking these. Zidane sends it low. That was blocked out. Who touched it last? It was Conte running through. Antonio Conte, who played for Italy in World Cup '94, but was not on the Euro '96 roster.
He arrived late that time. Nobody saw him coming through from midfield. And he's captain this season with Vialli now carded for pastures in West London with Chelsea.
Juventus coming back. Ferrara gives it up on the left side. Amoruso off the double team. It's blocked to the open player, Zidane. Knocked ahead by Montero. A chance here. Inside of the box, but the shot is blocked. Perugia coming back with it. It was Boxic who had that opportunity. In the 28th minute. As you look across this field, you see more and more large pieces of grass that have been displaced. By the end of this game, this field could be in awful shape. Amoruso.
Clubs usually at the end of your season put down a lot of new turf on these pitches, and of course this is very early in the season. A lot of rain, which is unusual for this time of year. Perhaps this pitch, he hasn't had time to settle. It's cutting up very badly. Just before that, we saw a great skill again from Boxic.
Boxic clearly has been a handful for Perugia defensively. He's finding the space, turns well. One of the things I think that we're finding out is that he's a pretty good distributor of the ball as well. He won't always go for goal on the shot on his own.
He's working out a good understanding with Amoruso. At the moment, just pulling the defensive part. He's going wide, leaving the gap. And there is Amoruso up into the centre forward channel. He can't really believe that decision. He felt he was onside.
I believe it.
had a good understanding.
Perugia with a restart. Headed down by Juventus, and this one will roll out for a throw-in. Time for us to remind you that the Champions League continues here on ESPN. Fenerbahce versus Juventus. You'll see that game on Thursday. Check your local listings. The exact time in your area.
Champions League coverage. This is match day 2.
We'll be with you all the way through to the European Cup final. There's Marcelo Lippi, 48-year-old head coach. He's already won 1 Italian title and an Italian Cup, plus the European Cup with his side. Creek will play it forward. That's tackled away, but a bad foul from behind. Montero better be careful. He's already got the 1 yellow.
Montero again coming in and catching the back there of the Perugia player in front of the referee.
14, I'm sorry, to 8 foul count. Perugia winning that battle. 6-year-old Angelo Peruzzi, right now the #1 goalkeeper for Italy. Played right through. Nobody was there. Good idea by Creek if there was a teammate expecting it. This one goes out. We've got 2 players down. Check it out. Yeah, Matricano's a player down.
Box that's there, just trying to explain what happened, but Matricano really wasn't so very interested. The referee, though, has got to make some allowances now for the state of this pitch because players are sliding it. And sometimes conditions like this, it sometimes slows up a challenge, and therefore it can be mistimed.
Italian football, Serie A from Renato Curi Stadium in Perugia, Italy. Right now, Marcelo Lippi's club hasn't scored. Neither has Perugia.
We played over 31 minutes. Along with Mike Gill, I'm John Paul Della Camera. This is our second week of bringing you
Italian football coverage, Serie A here on ESPN. Here's the foul.
Yes, Boxic there just coming through, and really he was unable to stop in that situation.
Card, I believe, has
come out. We'll check that. Yeah, Boxic did get the yellow.
Late awarding of the card, I think, but still it counts. Another foul. There'll be a restart coming up for Juventus in the 32nd minutes. Russo trying to find his way on this team after coming over from Padova. Perugia players were saying the entire ball looked out. That was close, though. Zidane will play it back to Ferrara, #2. Right side, Amoruso. Now for Conte, #8.
The team captain, it's
knocked out.
He'll get a throw. Conte in for Zidane. He didn't read it well.
Perugia on the strip. Ferrara gets it back. That was a dangerous ball. And not a smart one. Creek will take it away. Juventus comes back to cover. That was an uncharacteristic giveaway for Ferrara, passing the ball to a teammate that was about 5 yards away from him with the defender right there.
Yes, and Creek nearly on his way that time, just losing his footing.
Conte, tireless work, plays it up. That is stripped. Giunti, team captain, will play it up. Giunti and Del Piero, good friends, close friends, but not today when they're playing against each other. You have to tend to forget those friendships.
I'm sure they do as well.
34th minute, scoreless game at Perugia. 7 is Creek. He's probably had more of the ball than anyone on his side. Soto on the throw.
Yes, Creek arrived and played for a couple of seasons at Padova after his transfer from Holland. Taking some time to settle down in Italy, but played well last season.
He was a teammate of Amoruso.
Scored 3 goals. A lot of people feel he should be scoring a lot more.
Guarini plays it across, and they're going to call it. Perugia says, why isn't that a penalty? Parini was in there tough, but no call.
And they're not even going to get a corner, so see the Perugia players not too impressed with that decision. Ball just played inside the fullback. Oh, there was no contact with the ball. I think if the referee saw that replay, he might come up with a different decision.
They'd have to come up with a different decision. Raparic was brought down by Parini, and you can see it clearly. I'll tell you what, when we did it live, I thought it was going to be a penalty. I thought it should have been a penalty, but there it's pretty clear.
Unfortunately, the referee doesn't have the advantage of the replays. He has to make an instantaneous decision, and I don't think he was in the best of positions then.
It's still ironic that Perugia could have scored right there, and they've been outplayed clearly in this game. Here's a chance over the bar.
You can see now Perugia is starting to grow in confidence. They're now starting to take the game to Juventus. They are the home side. Michael Creek getting very much involved in this game now. Trying that shot, it was always rising in, was leaning back as he hit it.
You know, Mike, in the first 15 minutes or so, they were sort of playing like they were in awe of Juventus, and that was hurting them.
Juventus, of course, such a rich history here in Serie A. They've won the title more times than any other team. They're the champions of Europe.
Coming through, saved by Peruzzi. Save of the game right there. Negri, who has their only goal this year, almost had their second of the season.
And give full marks there to Peruzzi, who was quickly off his line. A lot of his defensive colleagues had actually stopped thinking it was offside.
It's the first time that the Juventus defense was beaten down the middle. Here's another chance, and that too is high. What's happening in this game? Momentum starting to ride with Perugia. Raparic that time had a great chance.
Yes, it fell to his favourite left foot, and he follows it over the crossbar. There is some indecision at the back at the moment for Juventus. They just seem to be completely disorganised.
Happened all of a sudden. It's not like Perugia's been picking it apart, and you expect that hole to open. I mean, these are a couple of great balls that have just hit the seam and have embarrassed Juventus defensively. That's one of their strengths. Peruzzi again looking down every time he takes a kick. He's destroying the area around his turf. Off that high foot, will be taken by Perugia. The 37th minute, it is scoreless, but Perugia's starting to come on.
They've got tremendous support here. It's a big moment for this club to be back now in Serie A. He's been patient over the years, 15 years waiting to get back into the top division.
It's a long wait. Played ahead on the right side. It's settled by Gautieri, the former Bari striker. Oh, what a bad giveaway. That's right to Conte. That helps to set Juventus up with a counterattack. Taken away. Oh, that's bad. That's going to be a card, and it is on Zidane. What is that, the 5th yellow?
Well, that's the 6th yellow now. Yeah, just an untidy challenge there from Zidane. Juventus playing themselves into trouble that time. Conte, of all people, losing the ball, bringing it out of defence well.
On the far side, it's played up, and nobody there for Perugia.
Well, really, for the first 15 minutes, the game was all played around the Perugia goal and in the Perugia half. In the last 10 minutes, it's completely reversed now. And it's Juventus who are under a lot of pressure. Peruzzi hasn't really had a direct shot to save, but he came out very quickly and smothered that attempt right on the edge of the penalty area.
Played long by Peruzzi in his 171st game in Serie A competition. Conte will play it right side. Boksic sending it through, and that's blocked. That's the first time Juventus has been in that territory in a while.
Boksic playing wide on that far side, just trying to take some defenders with him. Up the space for Amoruso. Needs to do a bit better crossing than that.
Hart trying to get free on that side. Most people thought Perini obstructed him. Left the man with the whistle. Zidane. Back to Perini. Or Conte, who played for years with Lecce. Now to Ferrara, the former Napoli defender. Montero. That's cleared away by Perugia in the 40th minute. Well, it's a much more even game now. Juventus was dominating early, and now the tide has turned. But a much better game, competitive-wise, for these two clubs for the last 15 or so minutes. Left back outside for Allegri.
Play right through. The shot. Shea Peruzzi. Rebound comes out. And it's off the side. Unbelievable. Negri had the greatest chance to be a hero, and he missed.
Well, he was denied once by some good goalkeeping, and then the ball just came back to him, and he just slices it wide. But again, there's got to be some question marks over this Juventus defence. Peruzzi came up with the first big save, and Negri there with the goal at his mercy. Puts it the wrong side of the post, but what a let-off there for Juventus.
He didn't want to get up. He felt so bad about missing that chance, because you know what a goal could do in this game. A lot of games in Serie A will end up low-scoring, 1-0 result.
He was just waiting for the turf there to open up and swallow him. I mean, he did well to get into that position. There was some very good close skill right on the edge of the penalty area.
It's amazing, though, how the game turns. There was no halftime meeting. Sometimes things change at halftime, and you see people have made situations change. Coaches talk about things and different strategies, but here it has changed right during the run of play. And Marcelo Lippi, you know, will address it at halftime.
Yes, he's not going to be too happy with his defence. Juventus, of course, got a great away record here in Serie A. They haven't lost away in a Serie A match since 4th of February. Start of this season, or this year in fact, when they were beaten 2-1 at Vicenza. Our team were very, very hard to beat away from home, usually so well organised defensively.
Add this to the foul count. Mamoruso is down. Looked like Takara got him.
He's just trying to step inside and just being clipped there by the defender. I don't think that's a cardable offence. It's sort of a challenge that you see literally hundreds of times during the game.
27 fouls in the first half.
You've got players out there who are so skillful, who've got so much good close control that often it's just a fraction of a second. Perhaps the challenge is late.
Still could use a landscaper right about now. Right in front of Zidane. He'll play it inside, not even close to a target. Another chance for Juventus. Off that deflection, gets a favorable Perugia roll.
Perugia was a bit lucky there because the defender was really off balance. It came up right off the top of his head. It could have gone anywhere.
19 Gutteri, along with 18 Negri, have found more space up top, and Raparch has also found holes, number 11 on that left wing. Well, it's not just the center of the defense that's had problems for Juventus lately.
Well, they've been stretched as well because Creek is also starting to play wide, coming to this near touchline. We often say that's the one way to break down well-organised defence.
Here, put that right in Kosic. I thought Creek has been their best player overall the first 42 minutes.
This has worked very hard to get involved in this game. He's done a lot of good work. Certainly be appreciated by his coach and his teammates. And not sometimes appreciated by the supporters.
Amoruso. Good second effort and third effort. Maybe fourth. Del Piero with a turn. Kosic looked awkward on that. Looked like it was going wide, but maybe that deflection caught him off guard. It's going to be a corner kick.
Yes, the goalkeeper, I think, touched it. He was really lost his bearings that time. The ball, they're just hitting the defender. Goalkeeper there, not taking the risk. The ball you can see was spinning as well.
Del Piero from the near corner. Kosic came out, lost it. Rebound shot is blocked. And that's that wet field, wet ball. pass. Here's a break the other way. Gutierrez lifting it for Raparic. Headed away. Good defense by Deschamps. Oh, he keeps going. Great balance. Krieg, quick counter. Raparic. We're in the final minute, depending on injury time here. First half played in. Headed over the bar. Boy, this is a wide open game now.
Yeah, it's good football all around then. I mean, that was a good breakout of defence by Perugia. Juventus had enough players back, and then it looks as if Juventus were going to counter-attack, and in the end it was Perugia who got the ball back. That cross headed too high in the end. Peruzzi can just watch that one go over.
Peruzzi is ready to put it back into play. And he'll send it long, well over the halfway line, deep the other way. Another tackle attempted, but here's Del Piero slipping through, slotting it in. The keeper's out, the ball played across. Somehow it's deflected wide. Oh, it should have been a corner, but that's a great job to get a throw in only. I thought Juventus would score for sure there.
Well, Alessandro Del Piero had the first opportunity, but it's a good play game by Boksic, trying to unselfishly cut that one back.
Well, it's apparent Kosic is unable to catch this ball. It's getting worse. Oh, Del Piero just gave it away in the throw. Here's Curi. Up the middle. Terry. On space. Perugia trying to exploit it. Played through. A chance in the box. Knocked away by Pesotto. Good defense.
Yes, good defense, but Perugia now a team that are playing with full of confidence. I mean, that was a great run through and centre forward channel that time by Gutierrez. And so much good movement off the ball now from both teams.
We're in injury time. An obvious push by Goretti. Quick restart. Del Piero sliding to the right. Sliding is a good term on this field. And it's getting worse as we go on. 1 minute plus of injury time. We had a couple of stoppages, so not surprised at injury time right now. A couple of players were taken off the field, not for any long period of time. At least 3 stoppages.
Kosic still hasn't conceded a goal. He's lived a bit dangerously in this first half, saved by the woodwork. And it's been an enthralling struggle. I mean, the first 10 minutes it looked as if Juventus were just going to overrun this game and perhaps rattle in a few goals, but full marks to Perugia.
That's what's coming up at halftime, the weekend recap in Serie A, plus first half highlights, so stick around. Halftime should be coming your way shortly. We're in injury time, scoreless with Juventus at Perugia. Montero giving it up. Amoruso, 16. Laid out by Boksic. Amoruso looking for the return. And that foul is called. We're now a couple of minutes into injury time.
He's the player who's done a lot for Perugia, Michael Creek. Amoruso, after a slow start, he's working very well up front now with Boksic, with a lot of good running off the ball as well, and a little not too far down the line. Boksic and young player Amoruso, they're working such a good understanding. I think as weeks go on, prove to be quite a potent strike force. Of course, they've got some big shoes to follow. They've to take over from Vialli and Ravanelli, who are such popular players at Juventus. From what we've seen today, just be able to do that.
Juventus right over the halfway line. It's Deschamps. We're almost 3 minutes into injury time. Here's Pesotto holding, playing it inside the box. Laid off. Zidane has a chance, and he hesitated. That cost him. Had he fired right away, it might have been a 1-0 lead for Juventus.
Well, he should have hit it with his left foot. He tried to pull it across onto his right. One thing he will learn in Serie A, you don't get much time when you get the ball in the penalty area.
Del Piero sends it inside, and that is headed out of play. Last touch by Juventus. Yeah, you've got to make those decisions quicker. You may want it on your better foot. You may not have the opportunity, and that proved it right there.
Zidane, who is such a hit in French football, but the speed of Italian defenders, perhaps a lot more than much used to back across the border in France.
It's an adjustment period. Some players take a little bit longer, but the upside potential of Zidane is incredible. I'm still watching as that clock is ticking now to the 50th minute. 4 minutes. I am surprised that there's that much injury time, even with the 3 or 4 stoppages. Here's a long shot from outside that's blocked. Juventus coming away with it. Left side, Amoruso. Amoruso was brought down. They're playing on. Moretti was in there.
Amoruso there wasn't going anywhere anyway. I think he was just looking for the free kick. Deschamps, who's another player for Juventus who's got through so much work in this first half, was with him that time.
Here's Zidane. That was blocked. We got a handball.
We spotted that one.
There can't really be 5 minutes of injury time here. Maybe the referee will let him play the full 90. Forget halftime. Here's Amoruso. Amoruso will send it across. Dubbing through. One player fell down. And should that be it? Referee's coming over for a chat.
There was contact, I think, in the box. Juventus player trying to get on the end of that cross, and actually didn't make contact with the ball, but made contact with the defender.
We're going to play her down. I'm amazed. I mean, there's no way that there should be 5 minutes of injury time. Absolutely no way. Got to wonder about some of these watches that the men in charge are wearing, because we've seen this in a lot of games. You got to wonder where that injury time's coming from. I know in Major League Soccer the clock is official in the United States. That's controversial to the purists, but I love it. I think it's wrong that only one guy knows how much time there is, and especially with what we've seen with the way these guys put the extra time on. Now he's looking at the watch. Should make sure it's still ticking. That's it. Give us a break. That's 6 minutes of injury time. Fix the watch at halftime, and we'll come back and fix up our halftime highlights and give you a recap of what took place in Serie A. Juventus and Perugia are scoreless. Surely a strategy, if not in players, Mike.
Yeah, I thought they might have brought on Christian Vieri up front. I mean, he's a big, strong player. Certainly, it seems that that end of the field that Juventus are now attacking does seem to be perhaps the wetter of the two ends, because we saw Perugia have a lot of trouble in the first half. We didn't see that trouble from Kosic at the other end.
Kosic in the goal box area. Perugia's in red. If you're just joining us, Juventus in their traditional black and white striped uniforms. Play now down the left side. Perini is back. Here's Conte. It's a wide open first half. Both sides had chances to score. Negri had the best chance. Zidane hit a goalpost off a free kick. That was a great chance at the other end. 11 is Rapard. He found a lot of room in the latter stages of that half. Here he'll cross it. Headed down to the box. It's loose. And Montero with a clearance.
Yes, cool defending there by Montero to get that one away, but Juventus really pulled apart that time.
Played ahead now on the right side. I thought a foul, but no. Amoruso was just brought down by Chiara. There appear to be no substitutions here in the second half. Earlier, Goretti came in for Castellini, but that was in the first half. Castellini was injured. We already had the one yellow card. Unofficially, we have 6 yellows in this game. 6 yellow cards, so a lot of players a card away from ending this game early for themselves. Deschamps will give it up. Ciro Ferrara, he has a yellow card. Zidane, wide right. Conte tried to play it into the middle, and that's cleared away to this side for De Chiara. We may see a change soon. Zidane gave it up. No room there at the top of the box.
Yeah, Amoruso was the player who was trying to turn. He was quickly closed down. He was looking looking to try to push that one through to Boxic, who had taken up a good position.
It's ironic that as we found the holes on the Juventus defense, the holes on the other side had been bottled up. First half, first 15 minutes was quite the opposite.
I think in the first 15 minutes, if you'd have said to somebody it was going to be 0-0 at half-time, they might have been quite willing to have taken a bet with you on that, because it did look as if Juventus were going to score at least a couple in that first half, but it's all changed now.
Del Piero is furthest back. You've got Conte over the ball. And Perini is there too. They'll move the wall back. This is most definitely in Del Piero's range. It's still far out. Over 35 yards. He'll come in and now he'll strike it. Trying to deceive them with that shot, but it was blocked.
Yes, the ball came forward as one unit that time and really closed Del Piero down.
Seeing a lot of different things from Juventus on their free kicks today. They've had a busy practice week, you would gather.
They've got so many players in this team who are capable of doing some marvellous things from those set plays. He expects it's always going to be Del Piero, but now Zidane is there. Just another option. Of course, Deschamps, but he does most of the set plays for the French national team. Here's Deschamps on the ball now.
Boxic in the box on the left foot. Shot blocked off his own teammate. It looked like it hit Amoruso. Looking for the counterattack. Montero. Let's see if we get a player down. Montero checking the damage on Negri. There's no foul call. This one goes out of play. We had another player down. That was Amoruso. He may have just slipped. Maybe he had help off the ball. We didn't see it.
I think a lot of the players are just losing their footing. I mean, this is most probably the first time this season that they've had to play in these very, very wet conditions. In parts, in fact, this pitch looks a bit like a quagmire. Ground staff were out during the half-time break just trying to replace some of the divots.
We are almost 5 minutes into this second half. Zidane. We're still looking for the game's first goal. Both teams have come close. Headed away out of the back by Chiara. Oh, late on Zidane.
He's one of the players who got a yellow card in the first half, but just a mistimed challenge. I think the referee read that play very, very well. There didn't seem to be any malice in it.
Foul count, though, does continue to take its toll. Into space, nobody there. Chiara now on it. Last 4 yellow cards actually have been presented to Juventus. Some space there for Creek. He had a lot of space in the first half and did a lot with it. Not that time. Deschamps, I was going to say somehow kept it in, but then you saw it trickle out in the 52nd minute.
I think Deschamps has been given the job now of sticking a lot closer to Creek than he did in the first half. So Creek was finding a lot of space.
Marcelo Lippi with a lot of confidence in his back four. He didn't make any changes at halftime. And clearly there were mistakes made at the back, but they are a talented group. Back to Kosic. Amoruso was chasing. Left side. Chiara's pass is picked off. Read well by Porini. Sergio Porini with Juventus since '94, and that is so far offside it's not even a challenge for the linesman. You like those calls. There's no controversy there on Boxic.
They just mistimed his run that time, Alan Boxic, and the ball played forward rather slowly from out back.
Raparic gave it up. Montero into space. This one is onside. Boxic tackled away. Boksic might have done well to unload that one earlier.
Give full marks though to Di Cara for this challenge. I mean, a perfect challenge inside the penalty area. Played all ball, didn't even make contact there with Boksic. No chance of giving away a penalty.
This will be the 5th corner to none. That's the advantage for Juventus. We saw no substitutions at halftime, but it appears as if we'll see some soon.
Padovano warming up, as is Christian Vieri, the two strikers for Juventus.
Glove work being done by the referee. Referee today, Graziano Cesare. A little bit of a fake there before that corner. Played inside, and it's headed away by Perugia. Shot back in wide. Kosic. Zidane tried to sneak one home.
Yes, and the goalkeeper saw that lady who was scampering across his goal. Hitting that one through a crowd of players. That's the sort of view the goalkeeper has got of that. You can see it came quickly, picking up pace off the very wet turf. The goalkeeper just happy to see that one go the wrong side of the post. As we're going to get a substitution now for Perugia.
We'll see who it is going to be. Pizzi, number 26, is coming in.
Yes, he's the 29-year-old. Actually, he used to play at Napoli. Trying to spell it into Milan. Vincenzo, Parma, back again to Inter. More recently played at Udinese. With a lot of experience.
I'm surprised though. Raparic has gone out. Seemed to be a pretty useful, effective player. His finishing left a little something to be desired, but he was finding the space. Zidane across, settled. Oh, Boksic took a little too much time in the settlement. Back comes Perugia. Di Cara, number 3. Played into space, caught up to by Porini. For Ciro Ferrara. Zidane. Scoreless game. 10 minutes just about gone here in the second half. Along with Mike Hill, I'm John Paul Della Camera. Hope you're enjoying Serie A football coverage today on ESPN. To the right side for the cross in the box. It was loose but cleared away. Rain is getting heavier. It's not going to help this field.
I think it might have been one of the reasons why Raparic has been taken off. It's like a swamp down this near touchline, and that was the side, of course, he was playing on. He's very much a left-footed player. He was really struggling in the second half.
Juventus coming back. Zidane. No chance to play it back to the keeper there. Cut well. Nice job. Di Cara. Now Creek has it blocked. Pushed forward and then picked off. Marini's in the right spot to launch the counter. Into space and a fallen player. Flag went up though.
Well, the flag was up for offside when the ball was played, and Boksic.
Well, there's some confusion now. That's incredible.
Well, the referee has said that Vaticano has actually brought Boksic down
on a breakaway.
Well, I think looking at that, the referee's got it wrong. If there was contact, it seemed to be purely accidental. And I think the Perugia players argue with the referee because the offside flag, I think, was up. Well, that seems a very harsh decision.
Well, if the offside flag were up and you saw it there, I think that's why the Perugia player was over to the linesman to say, hey, talk to this guy, because if it was already an offside, how are you going to throw him out like that? But Vaticano is done.
Yes, he's sent off.
If at the time, or if you think this through, if at the time the ball is played, you're calling it offside, that's the first judgment, then he shouldn't be tossed. But if the referee didn't acknowledge it, and that's what he's going by, he sees it as a red card.
They still didn't even look at the replay. Look at if it really was a deliberate challenge. It just seemed that one of those challenges that Boxic, in fact, just seemed to fall over the legs of the Perugia defender.
Well, this could be a disaster, Mike, for Perugia. You're taking a game on a wet field that was, statistically anyway, still probably in Juventus's favor. In terms of the corners, not the shots, they were pretty much even. But it was a fairly level game, and now you're taking the player away.
Giovanni Gaglione of Perugia is going to make another change. Let's get some fresh legs on there, and in fact, Coutinho is the player who's going to come on wearing the number 21 now. He is a defender, so this is purely a tactical substitution. He's taken off a striker. He's going to replace the player that's been sent off. Coutinho is the player that comes on. He's another 20-year-old. Baptism of fire for him.
Zidane and Montero are back there. It'll be Montero if it's off the left foot. It's not. It's Zidane as Montero made the run. It's not the way they diagrammed it on the charts or in practice, I'm sure.
Well, they seem to get it all wrong that time. They've got so many variations. I mean, last season when Juventus had a free kick anywhere around the penalty area, you knew one player was going to take it, and that would have been Alessandro Del Piero. Now they've got so many variations on that. I think it's confusing the players. Gaglione there, just trying to reorganise that defence and send on the substitute, just making sure that all the other players know exactly what they've got to do.
Coming up next in most areas, PSV versus Vitesse, Dutch football. Check your local listings. The exact time in your area. Back on the left side. Here is De Chiara. Making his run. Playing it all the way across. And that's cleared away. Chip back into the box. Now Juventus has to play a little defense. It's a corner kick.
Juventus have the one-man advantage, but a lot of people will tell you it's often harder to play against 10 than it is against the 11. It always seems that the team with 11, the intensity just goes off a little bit. They react a little bit more, and now Perugia have got their first corner of the game. Juventus going to make a substitution.
Padovano will check in for Amoruso. This is a great substitution. Padovano is a gifted offensive player. You've got an 11 versus 10 advantage. Fresh legs besides. Good move.
Well, Padovano scored 4 times last season. I've got to say, Amoruso, they worked so hard in this game.
You still have Delivio that can come on. Peruzzi knocks it away. Right back inside. There's a chance. A shot. Perugia scores.
No, it's the referees disallow it. The flag was up on the far side. Well, Negri can't believe it.
Unlucky. He says, not me.
Let's have a look and see if we can pick it up on the replay. There's the header across, and that's when the flag went up. That would have been very, very close indeed.
You had Ferrara that seemed even. Well, there'll be some controversy on that one. I'm sure we'll see it again from different angles. Contact made by Zidane. Well, Juventus is lucky. Right now they're lucky on that last play. Looked like Negri had one.
Just be the wake-up call that Juventus need, because with the one-man advantage they are playing at the moment, like a team that you would think were a couple of goals up. It's lacking a little bit of intensity. Ivano up front now will give them that.
Off the interception. Here's a quick one into space. They wanted Padovano right away. If you're a defender, you don't want to see Padovano coming at you. If you're already tired, you see him coming on with those fresh legs and skill. Juventus has one of the deepest benches, I'm sure, in all of Serie A. Several players that don't make their starting lineup can start for most teams.
There's one player looking to come on, D'Angelo Delivio. had a couple of seasons here at Perugia. That was back in 1987 through to November of 89. At that stage in Serie C2 and C1. Like to play against one of his former clubs. The conditions would suit a player like him.
Del Piero was trying to slip through. That's tackled away. So far, Juventus has not taken advantage, not even close, to the extra player that they've had out there. They're not spreading the ball around. That time, Del Piero trying to take a couple of players on. Not letting the ball do a lot of the work.
Yes, Del Piero is very, very tired to me at the moment. Seems to be struggling a little. You can see there, just lost for pace.
It's been a difficult field for these players to play on today with the rain, and it was already wet from before.
Yes, it's already really sapping the stamina. And lots of water just about the surface area, which is really playing tricks with the ball.
It's heavy running for these players. They'll feel it. They're already feeling it. Deschamps gave it up to Zidane. Here's Zidane going long down the right side, and this one goes out of play.
Well, that was a beautiful ball from Zidane, and you can see there when it hit the surface, it just took off. Balls these days, of course, coated in plastic, and these sort of conditions, when they get it a bit wet, you can see there the ball just picked up pace and took off. But I mean, that was a beautiful ball from Zidane. Great vision, played exactly where he should have played in any other condition. That could have led to something. Not today.
Juventus winning this one. I'm surprised Pesotto hasn't gone forward more today, but it might be because of the runs made at the other end. Here's a chance now for Juventus. Looking to cross, but it's right there to Kosic.
They're too close to the goalkeeper that time. It was Deschamps who came through from midfield to get that one across.
Maybe with Ricard out of the game, you might see Pesotto going forward more and take some more offensive responsibility, because that's what he was doing before in previous games.
I think, though, Juventus being the away team here, it's so important they don't get beaten. I think I don't see them making too many changes at the back. I think, especially in these conditions, I think Marcello Lippi would like his four defenders just to stay there, keep their shape.
See how he plays it. He's got the 11 versus 10 advantage. Oh, offside. Padovano can look, but that time he appeared to be in the 66th minute.
Some more activity on the Juventus bench. They are going to make another change.
Torricelli will come in for Perini.
Told originally that Torricelli would be starting. He's been worried by injuries over the last couple of weeks. When they saw the state of the field, they really didn't want to risk him, but he's the sort of player who's made now for these conditions, with only some 25 minutes left to play. Will also give them that attacking edge.
Even though it's hard to run in this field, Mike, the two substitutions, they've added a lot of speed to this lineup with Padovano and Torricelli. Down the left side, looking for the chance. Juventus, that ball stayed in play. Finally settled by Pesotto. Conte gave it up on the left side. Pesotto again. Now he is going up. This is a game that Juventus should take with the extra player. Even though they're the visiting side, with the skill level they have, they should be getting chances. They're not even getting chances right now.
No, really, except for perhaps the first 20 minutes of this game, when they really did dominate. From that point on, Perugia have played really well, and then the second half, even being down to 10 men, Perugia making it very, very difficult for Juventus. They're defending well, but what they are doing is they're denying Juventus space now in midfield. It's stopping their creative players from getting involved.
Conte. Most people are wondering what that was.
Well, that's really a sign of frustration from the Juventus captain. As I was saying, Perugia are closing down the midfield. Zidane and Del Piero, when they do get the ball, and Deschamps for that matter, are not in an area that they can really cause too many problems. And then you see the Juventus skipper that time, Conte, had no options up front. Everything was closed down for him. Trying the shot, it finishes up well wide.
On the way back, the Juventus end, Torricelli, back to the keeper, Peruzzi. 68th minutes. Sports Center International comes your way 7 days a week. They cover everything, all the latest news, all different sports. Check them out daily on ESPN. Here's Juventus on the attack, played across off a deflection. Conte overran it. He'll come back on it, and then he lost his footing. He was overmatched that time. Deschamps won it back. As a trip, and you can see the splashing after contact was made. That's how much water's on this field.
Yes, it's worse down this near touchline, and I think that's one of the reasons that Raparic was taken off. He really was hogging his left-hand touchline throughout the first half and in the second half.
41 total fouls, 25 for Juventus, 16 for Perugia. Here's Pesotto. Giving it up wide left. And a takedown. Maybe the referee's felt that he's given away too many cards already.
Del Piero was the player who was
Give another one.
bored, and that was a yellow card.
Should have been.
So it goes against
Go red.
Betty.
Unofficial count is 7 yellows and 1 red. Red card.
I think we've got to make allowances for the conditions out there. So we've got some very skillful players. As Del Piero tries one of his trademark free kicks, that time a straightforward one, just a bit too high. But I think the conditions are having a big part in a lot of these bookings. It's very hard for players just to judge the timing of their challenges. As you can see, that one causing no problems to the goalkeeper. He just watched that one go over the top.
Easier said than done, but Juventus has got to find a way to play better with combination play, get more players involved in the offense, because they're not getting chances and they have an 11 versus 10 advantage. Now they're going to bring in Jugovic, and we'll see what he can do. We'll see who's coming out. Couldn't see from the extra official. It's going to be Conte.
Well, Conte has worked so hard for Juventus. He really has led by example. I think that's just purely a precaution. I think he's perhaps a bit tired. He's such an important player for them, and they need him fit for Champions League on Wednesday. They don't lose anything, though, with Jugovic coming on, another player with a lot of experience. Slav international who had 99 appearances here in Italy with Sampdoria before he moved in the summer of 1995.
Yeah, the winning penalty kick last year, and then European Cup final when it went to PKs over Ajax. 3 outstanding substitutions made by Marcelo Lippi, trying to jump-start an offense. He knows this is a winnable game. 11 versus 10 with the advantage. Here's a chance into the box for the shot stop rebound. Another miss. As bad a miss as Negri's. Boxic. Did you think somebody touched it?
Well, he's saying it came off the goalkeeper, but there again, if I'd have put it wide from that position, I would have claimed anything, actually. But he should have put this one away. First shot there, just stopped by the goalkeeper who can't hold it. There's Boxic. Of his experience, you would have thought that would have been in the back of the net very, very quickly. That wasn't to be the case. You can see there the ball bouncing very awkwardly.
Juventus has a 4-2 shots on goal edge in this half. Pesotto on the left. It's a goalkeeper's nightmare today to try to hang onto a ball, and that rebound almost cost Kosic. It should have.
Both the goalkeepers have been rather fortunate.
Kept in. Left side. Players sloshing their way down the sideline. Chiara. More like rugby.
They're still going at it. Neither of the players able to hear the whistle. Yes. Two experienced professionals in Serie A.
It's Jugovic that went down first, then Ferrara comes in. Chiara gets caught. Probably see why he's going to come up limping. Oh, you won't see it.
But you see the problems there. The players just unable to get their foot in as they were trying to get back up. You see their boots just sort of sliding away from under them. That's one of the reasons why we've had a lot of stoppages, a lot of free kicks in this game.
A little surprised we haven't had more injuries with players getting studs stuck and being unable to turn.
These sort of games, they often come to the fore after the final whistle.
Off that free kick. Peruzzi was back there. We saw Del Piero and Jugovic as part of the two-man wall. This one goes out. Torricelli and Del Piero not reading one another. De Chiara will have a throw-in. Michael Palavano yet to make his presence felt after coming on as a second-half sub. We're in the 74th minute, still scoreless. This is Pesotto.
Juventus have now used their 3 permitted substitutes. I'm very surprised that D'Olivier is not one of the players that's been brought on. You would think in these conditions they'd be ideal for him.
The crowd wanted to foul on Pesotto, and you figured play against his ex-club as well. Put in a space. Flag was up.
There's not much doubt about that decision, despite the protest from the home supporters. Not too many from the home players.
Fausto Pizzi, who came on as a second-half sub. They've also used their 3. Perugia had a player red-carded, Metricano. Pizzi and Coutinho were the other subs that came on, and earlier was Goretti. This is a card on Zidane, he'd be done. What are they looking at?
I think it's Zidane.
He's done.
He's gone.
He's gone. Even at 10 players. Zidane's second yellow, which equals the red. 10v10. Here it is. Oh, I tell you, that looked like a slip.
I think if there was contact, it certainly did not look deliberate. Zidane can feel hard done by looking at that replay, and now it's the turn of Marcello Lippi to make some adjustments. Of course, he hasn't got the luxury of being able to bring on any substitute, as his opposite number did. Zidane, forlorn figure, goes towards the dressing room. Second yellow card, and that's red. He's off.
Might have been a make good for the one that you thought was harsh on Metricano, because that didn't seem bad at all from behind.
No, I think that might have been a case of the referee just perhaps trying to even up the situation.
That looked more like a slip on a wet field. It was contact, it was extremely minimal, and like you say, you've got to make allowances for that. And the field's a mess. So it's 10 players aside. Perugia at home. Get that break there, because it's tough to play 11 versus 10, especially against a side so skilled as Juventus.
But the thing is, since Perugia went down to 10 men, I mean, they certainly have not been overawed.
No.
They've still looked the most liable to score.
Coming back. Juventus on the attack in the box, and a stumble as that shot went wide. Right now, Juventus, for my money, that's Boxic playing very selfish. There were 3 other players around. Now it's 10 versus 10, so it is a bit different, but I think he still has to move that ball.
Leone will be the happier of the 2 coaches. Boxic this time able to get behind the defence. As you said, JP, there's Del Piero waiting. Boxic, I suppose we can make some allowances there. Seemed to lose his footing.
Another chance in the box. Let's call it a half chance.
The defenders finding it very, very hard to turn in these conditions. Just falling for Juventus at the moment. The team who have won the Italian Serie A title more than any other team. One of their most successful sides in domestic competition in Italy.
Allegri playing it. The linesman's flag was up. back on the left side by Pesotto. In a space. Left off there, but it's taken over by Perugia. Here they come on the counter. Nice idea, but it's blocked. Montero got a hold of it, knocked it out. Throw in for Perugia.
Interesting that last Perugia attack. The linesman had the flag up on the far side for offside, and that was purely on suspicion because the ball hadn't been played through. The flag is supposed to go up. It was an offside when the ball is actually played, but at that time the ball hadn't been played. It was the player was thinking of it, but he hadn't played it, but the flag went up any case.
Fischer was thinking ahead. Here's a long shot, low, well wide of Peruzzi.
It's always dangerous when officials start to think anyway.
Yes. Allegri has proven he's got a good shot, not on that one, but on the previous couple of free kicks that he had in the first half.
Peruzzi now wearing the captain's armband for Juventus with Conti being substituted.
Scoreless game, Perugia at home versus Juventus. Third week in Italy's Serie A.
This would be the sort of game that Juventus would be really counting on 3 points. They've already been held to a draw once this season. It's on the season opener. They would be looking for 3 points from this game.
May still get it yet. There's plenty of time left. Down the right side. Oh, Torricelli played it behind the target. They had a chance to break into space, and now Pizzi sends it the other way. A chance perhaps for Perugia. Open player to the left. It's Dichiara who overlapped. Bends it inside. Peruzzi went down, and it's his own player, Montero, that's down. Negri's saying, why wasn't it closer to me? And Peruzzi could be hurt. I don't think Montero is. Montero's calling to the training staff. Peruzzi, this could be tough.
Well, it was so important for Juventus that he came out, because just his presence there coming out put off the Perugia player at the far post. It's a glorious opportunity. You see here the goalkeeper coming out. Just fails to make a contact. The defender coming in at the far post just fails to get a touch. It's the goalkeeper there doing enough to perhaps put off. Was the Juventus defender who was involved.
Montero ran right into his goalkeeper. Negri was the player that was open, looking for the ball.
The stoppage here, and I think there's most probably some conversations going on out there purely to make the change to some tactics. Certainly both coaches, Marcello Lippi has been indicates players exactly what he wants them to do.
Injuries are always tough, especially when you've used all your subs and you're looking at a potentially injured goalkeeper. Rampula is the backup, but Juventus doesn't use their subs anyway. I think Peruzzi's okay.
I think he's just got a bit winded, actually, the way he go into the boots of his teammate there.
I looked at the replay and it didn't seem like he twisted anything, and sometimes that's what could have happened. But wisely, they didn't want to move until the medical staff came out.
So a let-off for Juventus.
Coming up later tonight, you will see Roma and Sampdoria as we continue our coverage of Italian football. Serie A coverage on ESPN every Sunday.
The referee, because he saw that Peruzzi was down and it looked as if it might have been a serious injury there, just stopped play and started play with the bounced drop ball. And sportingly, Perugia just gave it straight back to Juventus, who had possession when the whistle went.
Onside on the right wing. On this cross, far side. Misplayed, and that might have been the bad footing, Mike. It's tough to head a ball like Padovano tried to do with when your feet just aren't there.
Well, it would certainly been hard to get too much height in these conditions, but I think you also got to say, if we see a replay of that, the ball when it's played across very, very high, you can see he was having trouble just to make contact, and he needed it down perhaps another foot so he could have made the contact, but also then could have actually directed it where he wanted to.
Padovano was open. Better field conditions, dry field, same situation. It's probably going to be a goal. Straight ahead, Perugia in the 83rd minute. Both sides have been knocking at the door, but no goals. Chiara, he's been coming forward a lot now, especially since it's 10 versus 10 now instead of the 10 versus 11 that we saw for several minutes. Juventus couldn't take advantage, and then they paid the price when Zidane got his second yellow. You know, coaches hate that when they get the advantage and then they lose their player.
I think the referee sent it off two players. Neither of them really anyway wanted a red card. They weren't bad offences. So at least he's evened it up.
I think they should both still be out there. It should still be 11 v 11. Played to the right sideline. Perugia on the attack. Free. He was attacked. It's coming back. So many players have yellow cards, and you got to look down at your list when there's a whistle. Several players are one more away from saying goodbye, which could really open up things.
Well, it was Deschamps that time who's been penalised. He is one of the players who's got a yellow card.
Oh, he's clean.
He still is, actually. The referee decided not to flash the card that time.
Perugia will play it into the box. It never reaches the target. Juventus looking forward near the halfway line. Oh, off a great deflection. It's a breakaway. A chance to score for Juventus. There's the shot. 1-0 as Campionato had a breakaway. There are some Juventus supporters here.
Straightforward goal, but when he broke up the move in midfield, he had a long way to go, and in these conditions you can see even there after he played the ball he was slipping. Just was able to direct the ball out into the back of the net. This is a very good goal, gives Juventus the lead, and the goalkeeper, they give him full marks. He came out, made it as difficult as he could for Padovano.
Second half. Here's a shot to try and time, but it's wide at Peruzzi.
They say the teams are always susceptible after they've scored a goal. That time there's a little bit of slack marking as we see this run again from Padovano. That was very good finishing considering the conditions. You see the reaction from the defenders. They just could not get back in time. Just etched on their faces.
Now in the 86th minute, that goal by Padovano should be in the 85th. Defense leading to offense after he comes away with a pickoff. He's gone. And you saw even on this wet, awful field, the speed of Padovano.
The speed was important, but more important, he was able to keep his foot in just long enough to squeeze that one past the goalkeeper.
Traversa played it up the middle, picked off. Here's Deschamps off the deflection. Here's Juventus again into space. It's got to be called, no? If he thinks the player was diving, that's another strange one.
I think he realised that there was contact, but it was purely accidental. So now play to carry on.
Two players are wide open here, and the linesman had the flag up. Taking choice.
Well, they're offside, that's why they're wide open.
There's the Padovano goal. He's flying.
Yes, and the concentration, just tries to take it wide, needs to make the angle. Squeezes that past the goalkeeper as he started to slip.
87th minute, corner kick coming up.
Well, we've seen two other chances like that in this game on sort of mini breakaways where the goalkeeper has come up big. So it was the case of third time lucky for Juventus.
Only the second corner for Perugia. Juventus has had 6. Play to the far side. Peruzzi's out, and he punched it away. Settled though by Perugia. And then cleared out of the back. Out of play, throw in coming up.
Nobody forward there for Juventus. They'd pulled everybody back.
Cross into the middle. Headed out of danger for the moment. And now it's Juventus looking at the space. Renato coming up. 10 players aside. A couple of red cards in this game. Zidane got the last one. First one went to Campionato for Perugia. We've got another player down for Juventus.
There's only 2 players back that time for Perugia. It was Curi who got the challenge in. See the corner as was the break-in. Perugia now really having to take risks. They are the home side. They got a point at least out of this game. To find themselves a bit short at the back.
Renato playing it in. And a push. I'm sure both sides will be happy when this one is over. It's tough to play in these kind of field conditions. You're off your game. You've got to make several adjustments. Of course, there's always the bigger threat of the injury.
Boxic has led the Juventus attack and seems to have run himself into the ground.
Got to save something for Wednesday, though. You can't think ahead. You've got to play this game. Here's Giornata. That's deflected. Perugia looking, edge of the box. It's cleared out. They'll take it back inside off another deflection. And the ball's not hopping their way. Now it's Giornata again. Nice cut. Brings it back on the right foot. Drives it across, headed away. But another chance. Perugia keeps knocking.
Really battling Perugia, but now they can be caught short.
Campionato put it into space. Long run, Torricelli. Cuts it back, open player. It's 2-on-1. Another chance. Off the post. 2-0 Juventus.
Perugia had put players forward. They were caught out down here, one defender.
And Del Piero, one-on-one with the goalkeeper. Sliding that one in. He's hitting the inside
Side of the post, going in. That's 2-0 now to Juventus. Perugia, though, up searching to try to get back on level terms. They were caught on the classic breakaway. One player back against 2.
point on. It was really curtains.
Great ball from Torricelli. So the subs have done it, Mike. Torricelli with the assist, Campionato with the goal that should be the game winner, assuming it ends up 2-0. So Marcelo Lippi can be happy with the switches he made. Here's a chance at the other end. The flag wasn't up. Off the crossbar. Well, Campionato's almost wasn't the game winner. Hitzi could have had one. We are in injury time now.
Well, we said earlier that teams, after they've scored a goal, are always susceptible, and that time the Juventus defence was caught very square. And Hitzi there running through by the woodwork.
I don't think so. Showing the foul call there. Here in injury time. And he got the call. Chiara's worked hard all afternoon. It's ironic that the score is 2-0 because it's an even game, and it looks like it could be 0-0 when this one is over.
Yes, Juventus started well. Perugia came back in the first half. So very quickly before the
Half-time break. And the second half has been very even. Perugia did so well just to hold on at 0-0.
for so long when they were a man down.
Del Piero slides it across. Here's a big shot that's still rising. Campionato scored in the 85th. Del Piero in the 90th. Juventus matching the 2 goals that they got last week versus Caligari. Off a deflection. Here they come again. Del Piero puts it into space. Boxic cutting. That's stopped, but it's off net. The goalkeeper Kosic didn't want to take the chance.
He also wanted to keep the ball in play and get it forward as quickly as possible. Boxic there just caught as he got that shot off.
minutes into injury time. You remember the official put 6 minutes on in the first half, so we won't even attempt to guess at injury time here. Giving it up. Juventus on the road against Perugia. Sellout crowd, over 28,000. A lot of Juventus supporters made it.
Well, this was a game that Juventus expected to win. It looks as if they are going to with this 2-goal lead, but had to wait until very late in this game. With goals coming in the last 5 minutes.
Perugia trying to get one back here on the cross. Headed away. Torricelli is back there defensively. Moreno Torricelli is on the Euro 96 roster, but surprisingly saw limited duty.
Yes, he's made a difference as he's come on here for Juventus. Such a strong player. And a big hand in that second goal.
What a great European Cup final we had. Pizzi ready to put it in play. Del Piero looking on. Over 3 minutes, almost 4 in injury time. Headed down.
He's beaten.
Perugia's on the board.
Well, it all came from the corner, the header down. They got his hand to it. Just spinning through on this surface. Ball coming 4 minutes into stoppage time.
Del Piero should. Or maybe not. I mean, if he puts a few more minutes on, maybe Perugia ties it. Who knows? Here's De Chiara. Playing it across. That's headed away. Had a comfortable 2-0 lead. But again, you don't really know about the injury time situation. It's like the first half could still be going for a while. Kosic. Sent long again by Perugia. Off a skip, it's right there to Peruzzi. Don't waste some time. Torricelli. 5 minutes plus of injury time again. Boxing, who's had a lot of chances, but no scoring today. 2-1 Juventus. I can't believe Perugia's hesitating here. I mean, guys, it's injury time. It looked like they were playing with the lead. Juventus with a pick-off. Boxic left it off. Renato gave it up. 10 players each. Each side has had a player red carded. Another foul. Goal scorers pay the price.
Getting that go-ahead goal for Juventus there by Cara.
The referee has mercifully looked at the watch. 6 minutes of injury time. Different time zone. Played inside the box, brought back down. Torricelli, couple of cuts. Padovano's up there helping as well. And now it's deflected out.
Well do Juventus looking there just to keep possession, retain possession, either through a corner or through a throw-in. They could milk this for another 10 or 15 seconds.
Jugovic. Quiet since he's come on, but the other two subs made dynamic entrances. That's it, finally, game over. Another 6 of injury time, but Juventus on the road.